Hello and a very warm welcome back to Kate Middleton and the Queen Channel. According to an article posted in the Express, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are committed to crush and destroy the royal family. As far as I can tell, this is what they have been trying to do for the past 3 years at least. But anyway, let's take a look at this little claim together. It's no secret that Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, have been embroiled in a bitter feud with Harry's family, the British royal family, ever since they stepped down from their official duties back in 2020. Now, what is the cause of this bitter feud? Well, it depends on who you ask. But if you've been paying attention, you know it's mostly down to Harry and Meghan because they are simply eaten up with jealousy and resentment towards Harry's family. They believe they were mistreated or Meghan was mistreated. Anyway, whatever it is, they are refusing to give up this campaign to make the royal family look bad. And recently, Angela Levin has claimed that Harry is looking for a new home in the UK, and she believes that suggests that they remain set on damaging the institution. And I completely agree with her. I don't think it's going to be a good thing if they come back to the UK, especially Meghan and Harry together. If it were only Harry without Meghan, then maybe he could have a chance of getting back in with the family. As a working royal, absolutely not, the public would never accept him. But surely he could find a way to reconcile with his father and brother. Speaking with GB News, Angela Levin said, Meghan doesn't want to come, we know that. But he does, and people say he wants to meet all his family again and get the kids to know them. Of course, I'm still not convinced these children are real, but I understand, of course, that's going to be the story they're telling right now. Because right now, as far as we know, Meghan and Harry are still deeply in love. According to all the puff pieces released by Meghan's PR people, Meghan and Harry couldn't be happier with their lives in California. Meghan's been a little stressed, but still, they just love being parents to Archofficial and Invisibed. Or are they? I mean, we've been hearing so many reports recently that they're trying to move somewhere. Just yesterday, there were reports that they were trying to move to New York, that Harry thought maybe they would be happier there. And now we're getting more and more reports that they're looking to move back to the UK, back to London. I mean, there is something up. As Angela Levin points out, it wasn't even long ago that supposedly they were eyeing up properties in Malibu. Clearly, they want to move out of Montecito, so what exactly does that mean? Angela Levin said just a month ago they were looking at a part of Los Angeles where all the top sports people were and they wanted to live there. Now they want to live in London. She goes on to say, I think it's just a way of getting onto the headlines and I think it's nonsense, but I think they will be dreadful to King Charles because I think they will come here. Alright, so let's think about what we know about Meghan and Harry. Well, we know they love publicity, good or bad. So I do believe Miss Levin is right that they're trying to get attention from the media. But at the same time, I think there is more to this. I think Meghan and Harry are finally beginning to realize that their American dream is falling apart in front of their very eyes. But we have to remember they are completely lacking in self-awareness. So of course, they're not going to blame themselves for all their failures. I mean, they're failing socially, they're failing professionally, they are failing in every single way. But they're not going to believe it's because of them and their own nasty behavior, even though that's why. No, they'll always try to blame something or somebody else. And of course, they're going to look for an easy, quick fix. And that's where moving comes in. I believe the pair really are that delusional. They can convince themselves that the reason they haven't been successful in the US is just because they moved to the wrong place. Montecito was not the right choice. They should have chosen somewhere else. And I suspect there is some disagreement between the two about where exactly they should move. I do believe these reports are at least partially true that Harry wants to move back home to London. And of course, Meghan is going to resist that idea. She knows that she is so unpopular in Britain, and that is something she cannot stand. She doesn't want to be booed as she's walking down the street. So I suspect she's the one who's pushing Harry to move to New York instead. And according to Angela Levin, Harry is still hung up on this apology from his family to Meghan. She said, I think they want to get their own back. Harry's determined to get his father to apologize to his wife. He must have it. And that's why he'll come back and not go anywhere. And then Miss Levin said, "They're no longer a nice couple. I don't think they've got the right to tell us what to do about anything in any area, actually. They're not royals. They haven't got the experience. It's all about them." She's right, they're not royals, but obviously they still pretend to be. I mean, just think, recently they just had to release a statement on the crisis in Israel. They had no business saying anything, they only made themselves look worse. But that's exactly what they do, isn't it? They speak in platitudes on issues they know nothing about. If they see any bandwagon, they're gonna hop right on it, because they are so desperate to be relevant. They, especially Meghan, believe their word salad rhetoric is just so interesting. Everybody wants to come hear them speak. And that's why they cannot understand why their popularity in America is also plummeting. Yesterday, Newsweek also released a new poll, and guess what? Meghan is doing even worse than she was before. According to the latest poll, Meghan's popularity rating has sunk a full 7 points. Now she's only got a net approval rating of plus 10. She was liked by 32% and disliked by 22%. Now, in the second quarter, she had a positive net approval rating of 17, so she's doing even worse than she was only a few months ago. In the earlier part of the year, Meghan was trying to lay low. We really were not seeing her name in the media all the time. So I guess she decided that strategy wasn't working, so now we're back to this oversaturation strategy. Obviously, neither strategy is working. But I don't believe that Meghan is willing to give up on this Hollywood dream. I mean, seriously, what would she do if they were to move to Britain? But according to a royal expert, Harry is determined to move back. Harry's not happy in the US. Royal historian Tessa Dunlop has weighed in on this situation. She told the Mirror, "The Sussexes are going to house hunt in and around London, so at least goes the rumor. Rather, the pair will branch out and buy somewhere of their own in a mission driven by homesick Harry. As with so many Sussex rumors, the subtext here is marital tension. Meghan is just fine in California with her celebrity chums, hot new agent, and pending return as an influencer. Not so Harry, who is often pictured looking, well, spare. The Beyoncé concert, anyone? We are served clips of him in awkward, shiny shoes World Mental Health Day in New York, or being upstaged by his suave, expensively understated wife. The expert said that Harry is being portrayed as the little lost boy, a square peg in an American hole who wants to come home. And she also said that Harry and Meghan are so obsessed with their security, and it would make a lot more sense if they stayed with their cousins on the Windsor estate or in another palace. She said, "I'm sure Harry would like a bolt hole in London, it's his home city after all, but it makes no sense for the safety-obsessed Sussexes to invest in private property when they can bunk up with cousins on the Windsor estate or stay in one of London's working palaces where the security brief is on tap." And then she claims the British people are missing Harry and Meghan. Now, I don't think that claim makes a bit of sense. I highly doubt anyone in Britain is missing Harry and Meghan. But anyway, the rest of what she said I think is pretty spot on. Obviously, Harry is not happy in America. I mean, every single time we see him, he looks absolutely miserable. The last time we saw him looking moderately happy was when he was in Singapore and in Tokyo, Japan. And let's think about what he was doing there. I mean, he was basically acting like a royal again, and he loved it. But this celebrity world that he lives in with Meghan, it doesn't make him happy. I mean, how could it? I don't believe it makes her happy either, but then again, she doesn't really understand what happiness looks like. The only thing Meghan cares about is being famous and moving up the social ladder. And as long as she can convince herself that she is working towards those goals, she's fine. Even though we can all see that her Hollywood comeback is failing big time, she doesn't see that. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months, but I'm also still very suspicious that all these articles we're seeing about Harry wanting to move back to London, Meghan wanting to stay put in California, is just preparing us for the news that is coming soon that the two of them have separated and or they're getting divorced. They don't want us to know that they're really getting divorced because the both of them are such nasty, toxic individuals that they couldn't stand each other anymore. No, they want to blame it on something else, and I believe that's what these stories are all about. And you, what do you think? Do you think Meghan and Harry really will move somewhere together, or are they just going to split? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. As always, please like and share this video with anybody else who would enjoy it. And before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing from Kate Middleton and the Queen channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely day, and I'll be back to see you soon in the next videos.